Such an interesting story for you now. Leather crafting is one of the oldest professions in recorded history, and one Helena man is keeping the age-old artisan craft alive.
MTN's John Riley has more for this week's Montana Made.
Located on the west end of Helena is Sting Saddlery, a business specializing in handcrafted leatherwork and repairs. Owner Sterling Sting Campbell first became interested in leatherwork at the age of 16 when his brother brought home a century-old saddle.
My brother was a guide in the Absaroka Beartooth. He found a saddle at the base of a cliff and he brought it home and it was totally wrecked. Took it all apart, took all the patterns, rebuilt that saddle from scratch with just a scalpel to cut out my parts, 2 needles and some thread, and a safety builder for skiving all the parts. After that, I was like, oh, I want to build saddles the rest of my life.
Sting then took the refurbished saddle to Grizzly's Saddlery in Great Falls. His attention to detail and ingenuity impressed the more experienced staff.
And they're like, if you have that much patience to round the edges with a scalpel, this is the tool that's done with. We'll teach you how to use it.
Grizzly Saddlery offered him an apprenticeship, and for the next 10 years, Sting honed his skills under master artisans. In 2017, Sting married his wife Adeline, and the two moved to Helena to start their own business. Sting says it was a bit nerve-wracking to start his own saddle shop.
A lot of people told me, you'll never make it, saddle making is a dying art, you'll never make it starting your own business.
But since they've opened their doors, the business has been thriving in what Sting calls a miracle from God. In addition to crafting saddles, belts, bags, holsters, and custom items, Sting can make just about any type of repair needed for leather, and he does it all by hand.
Everything's done by hand, still using tools today that saddle makers used 200 years ago. And some of my tools are 100 years old.
As for the future, Sting says he'd be happy just as long as people enjoyed his work.
I'm hoping in the future that we'll grow into a bigger shop and have a name like Miles City Saddlery, a name that people all around the world can say, hey, oh, you got a Sting Saddlery saddle. Now that's a good saddle right there.
Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
That's a good saddle right there.
That's a good saddle right there.
It would be really fun to watch him work from start to finish, maybe like a time lapse.
What craftsmanship is
Very
awesome.
cool.
Very cool.